Well, hello my friends, Randy and Connie and your family members, if you want to share this video with them. It's me, Clint, giving you the second video as promised. We just got done tonight. We had on Monday nights, Michelle and I host a small group Bible study from a church that I formerly pastored just recently. We had planted a church, a new church, 3 years ago, but we just didn't hit the numbers that we needed to make it go, and so we closed the church. This just the end of December. This is like, we just closed it. But there's a group that had been coming to our house on Monday nights for Bible study, and they wanted to keep that going for a little while. So we just finished with that, and we prayed for you guys tonight. I shared my excitement about coming out and seeing you, and praying for your health, Randy, and praying for you, Connie. It can be, I know all about what it can be like being a caregiver. And I'll tell you that story about us when we get there. So tonight, I want to pick up where I left off, if you don't mind. So we talked about when you left Newaygo and how tight we were, and when you left, and my experiences through high school, and then Michelle and I getting married. And I think that's where we left it. And that was, Michelle and I were married on December 15th, 1973. That was the beginning of my senior year. And ended up dropping out of high school, getting a job on construction. And my first construction job, my only construction job, was working for L.E. Myers Line Construction. I was a grunt. I was one of these guys on the ground, and we walked in the mud and we pulled cable to connecting the different towers. And then the other guys who had been there longer, made more money, climbed the towers and did all that. And I did that for maybe 3 weeks and said, this isn't me. So I ended up getting a different job. So Michelle and I are married, and our first son, Matt, was born in April 23, 1974. And somewhere in that time frame, I think, is when you maybe sent me that picture of you and Cindy and Lisa. And I think that would have been the last correspondence we would have had. I don't know exactly the date. Maybe you can tell me what year she was born. But Michelle and I were guessing 73, 74, somewhere in there. Anyway, so Michelle and I have our first child, Matt, and in April of 74. And over the next few years, I worked just different jobs. The economy was horrible. I don't know how it was in Phoenix back in 74 and 75, but it was horrible here in Michigan. And unemployment lines were really long. And I had dropped out of high school. I didn't have any skill. I didn't have a skilled trade. I didn't have a degree, any of that. And I was working at Greenville Products. I drove a high-low, a forklift, carrying refrigerators. And that was 74, 75. And still wild, still rebellious, wanted nothing to do with church at all. Even though Michelle and I were married in the church, we just did our own thing. And I worked second shift at this place. And Michelle and I were living in Newaygo. And I was driving back and forth to Greenville, making big money. It seemed like, if I remember right, I was making about $385 $3.85 an hour, and that was 1974 into 1975. Worked second shift, got the night premium. But I would go out with the guys on Thursday nights, and we would cash our checks, and then we would drink. And there was one night where I just did too much, and then after, this is Thursday night, so it's into the early hours of Friday morning, like midnight, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock Friday morning. And I went to a party, and I bought some marijuana, and playing cards, and smoking and drinking, and I passed out. And I woke up the next morning in this house, and I had thrown up all over myself, and somebody had taken my money. They had taken the marijuana that I had bought, and I was feeling really, really low, and just, again, stupid. You talk about, stupid. I've done stupid big time, my friend. But God is always so good. You know that? No matter how stupid we are, no matter what kind of mistakes we make in our life, God is a God of love and of grace. He's not the traffic cop type of God that people think. Some people think that God is just out to see the things that we do that are wrong and write us tickets, But that's not God. God is our Heavenly Father. He loves us, and He has an abundant life for us, and He wants us to come to Him. And I think sometimes He'll allow things in our life, to get our attention of Him. Well, I'm driving home this next morning, somewhat sober, and feeling miserable, and feeling ashamed because I'm not with Michelle and I'm not with our little boy Matt. I'm on the road, and I had spent the night in someone else's house, lost all of our money, and so I remember it was March 12th, 1975. I pulled over to the side of the road, and I remembered the Bible verses that my mom taught me growing up, even though I turned away from all that. And I just flung out a prayer there to the Lord. I said, Lord, my ship, my life, like a ship, is shipwrecked. I can't do this, God. I don't want this kind of a life. I want a good life. I want to do good things. I don't want this anymore. I want you to come into my life. I want you to be my Savior and my leader, and I want you to direct me, and I'm all yours. And that's what I prayed, March 12th, 1975. Pulled back out, went home. And I told Michelle all about it. 2 days later, on Sunday, I said, hey, let's go to church. And she looked at me like, okay, what have you been smoking? And I said, no. I said, I really want to go to church. I said, God's got my life. I prayed, Friday morning I prayed, and I asked Him to be the director of my life. And I want to follow Him. And I know that getting to know Him means going to church, reading the Bible. And I don't know much about it, but I'm in. I'm all in. And so I gave my life to the Lord, and we started going to church. And Michelle would go just simply because I went. But she could see the change in my life, a 180. And I did away with the drugs. It took me a while to quit smoking cigarettes because I developed that bad habit. And I think it was about 10 months later that I gave up smoking so I could have better health and a better testimony. But no judgment here towards any that do. I'm just saying, for me, that's I wanted a good life, and I wanted to be as healthy as I could possibly be. So Michelle saw the change in my life, and she wanted the same thing. And shortly after, Michelle dedicated her life to the Lord. And so we both became Christ followers. And that was in 1975, and maybe for Michelle, 1976. In 1977, we had our second son was born, Aaron. He was born on January 23rd, 1977. So now we've got two boys, and I'm still not working. The economy's horrible. And long story short is I found out there was a training program for under-resourced, economically disadvantaged people. And I qualified for that. And basically they paid my college. I went to college. I went back and I took a GED, just cold turkey. I just took the test. There was no prep. I just took the test, passed it, and got my high school equivalency. And then I went to college. And I went 2 years to business college, graduated with high honors, had a 3.5 GPA, grade point average, and then I took a year off and I worked for Gerber Products in Fremont, and for their corporate offices I worked as a computer programmer. And then the next 2 years I went to Ferris State College in Big Rapids, and I got my degree in education. Because I had given my life over to the Lord and I wanted to be healthy again, I returned to the world of sports and athletics because that was my love. Like I said, I followed the wrong crowd for a while, but now I'm following the right Lord, and good things are happening. So now I'm going to college, and I want to coach high school basketball like no one's business. I love basketball, and I first picked up a basketball when I was 14, our 8th grade year. That was the first time, and I haven't put it down since. I don't play hardly at all these days. I'll talk more about that. But I did play for a long time, and I still love the game. Anyway, I wanted to coach basketball. So I got my degree in education, hoping to nail down a teaching job and a coaching job. And I'm looking at my time, 12 minutes. I don't want to go too much longer. So, as I finished up at Ferris State College and graduated, that was in May of 1982, I interviewed at several places, and my first teaching gig, my first teaching job, was actually at this business college that I attended. They had an opening. So I'm going to pick up there. I'm going to stop here for right now, kind of keep these videos at 10 to 12 minutes. And I'll pick up more. I'll pick up later on, maybe tomorrow or the next day, and share more with you. Coming out to you guys, I'm excited. I want to check the date with you guys. I'm looking at my calendar, and I'm going to come out because I teach part-time. Spring break for us is April 2 through April 6th. And I know your birthday's on the 6th. I don't want to, I'd love to be there on your birthday, but I don't also want to get in the way of family and maybe a special day or anything like that. So if you'd rather not have me at your place on the 6th, I get it, I understand, no problem. So you just tell me, okay? What I was thinking of doing, though, was flying. I kind of shared this, flying into Omaha. I know I could fly into Sioux City, but I feel like, you know, if I'm going to be out there, if I'm seeing you guys, I'm only 2 hours away from my former church and people in the Carter Lake and Omaha community. I know people down there that I should probably say hi to. So I'm going to fly into Omaha. and there's a couple in Carter Lake that have already said I can stay at their place, and they're going to loan me a car. I don't have to rent a car. They're going to loan me a car, so that's amazing. So my thought is I would fly in on Thursday, April 5, probably get to Omaha by noon, we'll just say, visit with some people that I know in the Carter Lake, Omaha area that afternoon and evening, and then drive up on Friday the 6th and get to your place by like 10 o'clock or 11 o'clock in the morning. I don't know if maybe you're not morning people. I'm a morning person. But anyway, get to your place like before noon and just kind of enjoy renewing our friendship for a few hours, hang out during the afternoon, and then I would maybe leave at, I don't know, like 5 o'clock and drive back to Omaha, and I get there by like 7, and then I can fly out the next day on Saturday. That would be my plan. But if that doesn't work for you, if you've got family and special things and you'd rather not have me on the birthday, that's fine. I can just back it up. I could fly Wednesday, visit with you guys on Thursday, and fly out Friday. So you tell me whether or not you want me on the day, on the birthday. If you want me there, I'll be there. If you got other things going on, I understand, and I'll just come the day before. So that's my plan. You can just go ahead and message me on like you did before. That'll work out great. And look forward to sharing more with you about my life and hearing, of course. And I get it. You don't have to do a video, but if you guys can email me and just help me get caught up to speed on your end, that'd be great too. I don't know if you're Christians or not, but Michelle and I have become devout followers of Christ and really believe that He wants us to be here to make a difference in other people's lives. I won't get preachy when I visit if you're not, but would love to hear your story, where you guys are at with things. Let's see, what else? Connie, I'm going to have you and Michelle, I'm going to do the Facebook friend suggestion that you can do. I think you guys would love to chat with each other and become friends, so that'd be great. And then I'm also going to put you on our Newaygo High School class of 74, because Randy was in our class. Might have been only a few years, but we were a very small class, close-knit group of people, and we still stay in good touch with each other, and we have reunions. Not that you can come, understand that, or not that you should, but I just want you to feel included. I want you to know that you're a part of us, and we just don't let those relationships go, okay? So we might not check in for 48 years, but we don't let them go. All right, so that's all I got for tonight. Thanks for letting me share this with you. I hope it's beneficial for you, and I'll share more. Not sure about tomorrow. I referee high school sports, and I referee with two other guys are on my basketball crew. These days, there's three referees on the basketball court, and we're out tomorrow night up north reffing girls varsity basketball tomorrow night. So I'll get in late, but Wednesday I'll shoot you another video. Okay? Love you guys. Take care. Keep in touch. Bye.